Much like in other languages, in JavaScript we have statements and we have expressions. An expression is something that evaluates into a value. Take that value, take that expression, put them together, and you have a statement. Let's take a look at an example. var total equals 12 plus 36. This is a statement. 12 plus 36 is our expression. And that's evaluating a value that is getting saved inside that total variable. Whenever you're taking a look at a statement like this, where there's an equal sign involved, you can probably assume that whatever's on the right side is the expression. Now, in my case, I have arithmetic here, 12 plus 36, math. However, an expression could also be an object, or an array, or sometimes even a function. Anything that is an evaluation or can do an evaluation is an expression. Now, most statements have an expression in them, and there is a very common statement that we're all familiar with, the if statement. Let's take a look at that. If total is greater than 100, return expensive. This is an if statement, and it has an expression. Where is the expression? Remember, an expression is something that evaluates into a value. So, in this case, that would be the condition. Total is greater than 100. That is our expression. Why is this important? Why do we have a video dedicated to understanding the difference between a statement and an expression? Something you probably understand on an intuitive level, but maybe have never thought about. It's because inside JavaScript, especially in frameworks like React or Next.js, you have something called JSX. And inside JSX, you cannot have statements. However, you can have expressions. So knowing the difference helps you understand what you can do where, and you can sometimes take a statement and turn it into an expression. Let's take this example and expand on it. Let's say that we have a variable called label. I'm going to initialize that as an empty string. And I want to put either expensive or affordable in it based on whether the total is greater than 100 or not. So now our if statement already has if total is greater than 100. But on line 8, instead of returning, we're going to just store this inside the label. So label equals expensive. And then we'll add on to the statement and add an else. And so if it's not expensive, then it's affordable. So affordable goes into the label. Now, if you were in a React component, for example, if you were outside of the JSX part, you could create this if statement there. But once you're inside the return area of a JSX component, you can't have a statement there. So what would you do there? In this case, this is one of those statements that you can actually convert into an expression that just evaluates itself and then stores its value into label. And that is why we have ternary expressions, my friends. So instead of all of this, we could go var label equal sign. And then first we have our condition. Total is greater than 100. Then we have our question mark, which says, oh, this is our condition that we're evaluating. And if this is true, what do you want to do? In this case, we want to store the value expensive. This has basically an implicit return. And then we have the colon sign, which is basically a way of saying else. And if it is not expensive, then it is affordable. So we've taken that if statement from line 7 to line 11, and we've converted it into an expression right there, which then evaluates into the total. So this expression, total is greater than 100, question mark expensive, colon affordable, is something that you could use in the return area of a JSX component if you were using a framework like React, because you wouldn't be able to use that if statement. And then what you could do is, if total is greater than 100, render this component, otherwise render this component. That would be all possible using this expression idea instead of the statement idea.